Hey, it's Devana. So we're gonna do something a little different today, so bear with me as I ramble through this because it's literally gonna be like a ramble. Anyway, so what I have noticed recently is I have just been thinking a lot about like life and my future, and not in like a bad way and not always in a stressful way, sometimes in a very positive, very excited way. But like I graduated college 2 years ago, and then I just finished my master's the end of last year. So I feel like I'm really officially, I've kind of been in the adulting stage, but I feel like I'm really getting in the gear of it, and it's kind of like scary, but at the same time it's very exciting. But this is a very uncertain time. And I don't think that's just for me. I think it's for a lot of people at this stage in life. There's just a lot to navigate through, and there's a lot that you don't know, and there's a lot that we should know because it's common knowledge to everyone else that we've been around our entire lives. They just chose not to share it for God knows why, but we'll talk about that later. So something that I have found very beneficial to me at this point in life is making lists. And so I'm going to talk specifically about like goals in the future and getting to where you want to be in the future. So what I found on a very short-term basis beneficial to me is, whether I'm at home or at work or wherever, but is making daily lists, or like a daily list of tasks you want to achieve. And then just kind of keeping that, whether you do that on your phone or on paper. I prefer on paper, but on your phone is cool too. And just writing down the things that you want to complete for the day, so that number one, you don't forget them, and number two, when you look at that list at the end of the day, hopefully you'll have quite a few things crossed off, and there is just like an amazing sense of accomplishment, at least for me, when I look at that list and I'm like, oh snap, like you finished that today, especially in comparison to maybe the day before I didn't do as much or something like that. It just makes me feel like I am making steps towards achieving something at all times, because I'm all about that, very, very goal oriented. Another thing is goals, and I do like a long-term, short-term list as well. And I usually keep those on my phone just because I'm constantly tweaking them, adding to that. And so what I find beneficial with that is, as I achieve goals, and I probably check that list, I don't know, every few months, because of course if they're short-term or long, or shorter-term or long-term, it's going to take a while to actually get something accomplished. So as I kind of edit that list, I think it's a good idea not to completely remove things from the list, but rather to just, do some sort of separation on the list, and then have a part of completed, and then have what you're still working on. And I say that because you can keep an eye on the progress that you have made. If you delete it, then I feel like you don't realize how much progress you have truly made in a few months or a year. And when you look back, like last year, I would say for myself, as far as personal goals, is one of my most successful years, as far as like moving out on my own, paying all my bills by myself, getting a car, getting, my first official big girl job, things like that, graduating with my master's. That kind of stuff is really serious. And I don't think I had really appreciated those things going along until I looked back on that list and was like, okay, and had really noticed that I had, done a lot according to what I wanted to accomplish in life. So I think that is good to keep in mind. And this doesn't always have to be professional goals. I have stuff on there like, I want to own a dog, and I do still want to do that, and there's reasons why I don't yet, but, just little stuff, whatever means something to you. It doesn't have to be huge. You can put your career, I want to be a lawyer that owns their own firm, that kind of stuff. Definitely good to put on there, but keep in mind the smaller things, because they don't mean any less. An accomplishment is an accomplishment. And so what I kind of do when I make my lists is, I kind of wrote it down, it's like a goals list. So I would put like the big goal up top, and then kind of list out the steps I think it would take to get there. And of course, sometimes, I will start with like a step or two, and as I'm going for it, I need to add like 5 more steps. And so that's okay, you just edit it and add the 5 more steps. And then under each step, I kind of put like bullet points or dashes or whatever you want to call them for like the necessary steps or things that you need to complete those steps. Because, I don't know, maybe you'll have to buy some sort of supplies or books, to study or something like that. So just break it down. So you're constantly making progress in some area, even if it's not the huge goal at once. It's going to take, you have to break it down. You have to accomplish little things along the way. So that just kind of keeps me moving in a fluid motion, I guess, constantly moving forward and making progress. And I will not lie that sometimes having goals can get like overwhelming. It's like, okay, which one do I accomplish first? I had planned to accomplish it by this time, it's not done. And that kind of stuff, you just have to talk yourself down, because progress is progress, little progress, big progress, all at once, whether you just get blessed or lucky or whatever, but it's all progress. So you want to keep track of it all and just remind yourself that, you're reaching towards something so much bigger. And I'm choosing to speak on this stage of life, being in this stage of life, number one, because it's like a first person perspective. I am like going through it. But I wish that more people would have done something of this manner rather than, me calling my parents and freaking out about this or that. And they're like, yeah, we've all been through it. That's how it went. It's nice to be able to talk through it and be able to acknowledge the fact that it's not easy. And maybe when I get to another stage of life, I'll be like, this was a breeze. But for now, this is what it is. This is what I'm comparing in experience to what I've been through thus far. So I just think it's a good idea to have a conversation about the current happenings and to just share my feelings with others, because like I said, I know I am not the only one going through it. Always keep in mind that you are not alone in this stage of life. You are not the first one to go through it, and you are not going to be the last one to go through it. And you're also not alone. We're all here a little confused or overwhelmed, and whether we say it or not, it's just the truth. It's just a part of life that we all have to go through. So just keep that in mind, keep moving forward, and try to keep yourself organized in some sort of manner. Like I said, when it comes down to it, the most important thing is just to keep moving forward, to keep yourself reaching for more or bettering yourself. So let me know, do you feel my pain? Are you having the same struggles at this stage of life that I'm having? Be honest, let's talk about it, let's figure it out so we can keep moving forward and keep getting better and accomplishing the things that we really want to accomplish in life.